Hi, my name's William Schaeffer, and I have an idea today. Bring back the one-room schoolhouse. And here's why. In a previous talk, I discussed how the current grade school environment leads to most of the social problems we have today. Children are trained by the grade school to be insensitive and uncaring. They are trained to sit in their place and only worry about their own achievement. If anyone else is in trouble, that is their problem, and they are trained to ignore them. The result of this is a society where everyone is selfish and no one cares about anyone, like American society today. Additionally, students are grouped according to age, and they're put in a classroom with students about their same age. Now, this happened to me at the Emerson and Jefferson grade schools in Wheaton, Illinois. And I had just recently been aware of how this grade school environment affects me and all the people I know as adults. One additional thing I had not thought of, and one cure for this. Now, in my school experience, I never, ever shared a classroom with a neighbor child that lived near me. We had 2 or 3 classrooms for our age grouping, and the neighbors that lived near me were always put in the other class. A result of this was, as a child, I had no friends. All the people that lived near me were in the other class. All the people that I shared a class with lived so far away that I couldn't socialize with them. Additionally, as an adult, I have no relationship with either of my 2 younger brothers. And I think this is largely because we did nothing together at the same time ever. We were always in school and we were always in different classrooms. Now, I'm pretty sure that this arrangement was designed intentionally so the teacher could have control over the classroom, and so that brothers and sisters were not in the same class and neighbor children were not in the same class, and all the students in the class had no personal relationships with anyone else in the class, so that the teacher could easily assume control like a dictator. And that is what happened. What no one realized is this may be good for the teachers. This may be good for education, and it may be good for industry that gets well-trained workers. But it is terrible for society. 30% of Americans report having no friends at all. We live in a society where we are all isolated. All our friendships and associations are monetary, they're usury, they're employment, they're economic related, and we find we have few genuine relationships at all. This is by design and is a legacy of the current grade school system. If you study the history of the educational system in the United States of America, you will see that the current educational system was inspired by the Prussian school system of the late 1800s. American educators went to Prussia and were impressed with the discipline and order of the classrooms and modeled the American grade school system on the Prussian school system. Now, we all know that the Prussian and German school system of the late 1800s and the early 1900s led to Nazi Germany. It led to fascism and totalitarianism. And that was widely embraced by the German people because they were trained in that behavior by their school system. The same thing is happening in America today. We are becoming a totalitarian police state. Democracy is leaving America, and so is debate and deliberation. If you watched the presidential debates from last year, they were an embarrassing exercise in grandstanding name-calling, and showboating. And there was very little real discussion of real issues. It was all propaganda and show. And America is quickly becoming that same way. There is a good chance we will have a world war in the next 5 years and America will start it, and it's because of the way we've been educated in the grade school system, modeled on the Prussian school system. Now, I've got a solution. Bring back the one-room schoolhouse. The one thing we need in life is friendship. Now, the rulers and masters and the owners of America don't want us to have friends. They don't want us to have any relations at all, so they can continue to exploit us. However, 30% of Americans report having absolutely no friends at all. 70% of Americans are more than 20% overweight. 30% of Americans are grotesquely obese. 88,000 Americans die every year from alcoholism, and 480,000 Americans die every year from cigarette smoking. And an average of 123 people commit suicide every single day in the United States of America. 123 people. This is more than the murders and car accidents combined. And in fact, in every single month since the turn of the century, more people have died from suicide in every single month than were killed in 9/11, and why do we never hear about it? These are all symptoms of a society that is broken. These are all symptoms of a society that is unrewarding and sterile and cold to the inhabitants of that society. There are currently 40 to 70,000 homeless people living right on the streets and sidewalks of Los Angeles. No one cares about them, and there is no hope for them. Now, my solution: bring back the one-room schoolhouse. Instead of organizing students and separating so they're stratified by age and separated, let's have each schoolroom be a block or a half a block. And all the children of the same family will be educated in the same room. All the neighbors will be educated in the same schoolroom, and they will get an opportunity to develop real relationships and real friendships that will last them their entire life. Now, this may be a little more difficult for the teachers, but I think they can handle it. And the teachers, like the old one-room schoolhouses on the prairie, can use the older students to help the younger students. That way, families are helping each other in school, and neighbors are helping each other in school. I have no friends today with the people I grew up with. I have no friends today from the people I went to school with. And this is largely because of the structure of the grade school system. If we wish to avoid social problems and war in the future, we should seriously consider the way our children are being educated. Presently, they are all being educated to be selfish, self-centered, concerned about their own achievement, unfeeling, uncaring, and unconcerned about anyone else. In addition, in the current grade school system, all your personal relationships are destroyed because you're put in a class with strangers that do not live near you. Your family relations are destroyed because you never see your brothers and sisters. Therefore, bring back the one-room schoolhouse. Let's have the America that we used to have in the 1870s and 1880s, where people loved life, people had friends for life, and people thought America was a great country. Today, America is just a prison and a work floor. No one has any friends. All they have is supervisors and policemen. Let's bring back the one-room schoolhouse. And let's see if we can reduce those suicides from 123 every day. Let's see if we can make a society where people genuinely care about each other and there are no homeless like the 40,000 living on the streets and sidewalks of LA. Let's see if we can make America great in actuality and not in pretentious name by the donations of expensive museums by the ultra-rich. Right now, America is a prison. We are headed for civil war and world war. This is the legacy of the current grade school system. Let's bring back the one-room schoolhouse. Let's have a country that's worth living in once again. Thank you. My name is William Schaeffer. Leave your comments below.